Welcome to the Classic and Sports Car Club Awards 2020. Well, it's certainly been a very unusual year, and these are going to be some unusual club awards too, because we've gone virtual for the very first time. As you can see, we're not in our usual surroundings of the NEC in Birmingham after the Classic Motor Show, but we couldn't let this year pass without recognising the amazing efforts of our car clubs to look after both the mechanical well-being of our cars and the mental well-being of their members. Never before have our cars and the community that surrounds them been so important, and at the very heart of that community lies the car clubs. We've made a few changes this year and introduced some new categories, but we still had a bumper crop of entries for our judges to get their teeth into. And we kick off with one of our traditional categories, and that's for Best Club Website. To introduce the runners and riders, I'm going to hand you over to our Associate Editor and Club Awards Coordinator, Lizzie Pope. Lizzie, who are the nominees?
While we don't have the good weather that Alistair has, what we do have is a great lineup for our first category, Best Club Website. And we're starting with a new club, the Blackpool Thunder Car Club. It was only launched in July 2020 after 3 years of planning, but its impressive website helps it to live up to its billing as a TVR club fit for the 21st century. From a brand new club, we moved to a very well-established one that offers both a thriving community for existing members, but also a warm welcome for newcomers. It's the Honda S800 Sports Car Club website. And finally, we have a site that is as colourful and cheerful as the model it represents. Supporting 1,200 members around the world, it's the Figaro Owners Club website.
And the winner is the Blackpool Thunder Car Club. Our judges were hugely impressed by this stylish and responsive site, which is absolutely packed with information about this iconic sports car manufacturer. While we're on the subject of digital development, we now have a new award, the Social Media Award, which recognises the importance of this online tool to unite and strengthen our communities. Over to Lizzie with the nominees.
Our first nomination in this category is for an individual rather than a club, and it's Maxine Walter from the GT40 Enthusiast Club, who, as well as keeping her audience entertained and informed during the pandemic, has increased the size of the club's Facebook community by more than 50%. Sticking with Facebook, it's the Revs page, which has become something of a phenomenon. Founded by the Reverend Adam Gompertz, this thriving online community hosts virtual events, but is also packed with lots of amazing content from experts, celebrities and owners from across the automotive world. And finally, while many clubs have launched podcasts, few can claim the success of the Jaguar Enthusiast Club, whose weekly, hour-long JEC podcast has attracted around 6,000 subscribers since being launched in lockdown.
Over the past year, for many of us, our computer screens have been our only link with the outside world and to our shared passion, which has really brought into sharp focus the positive aspects of social media. And no one has used it more effectively than the brilliant Revs events, which take home the trophy. Classic and Sports Cars Deputy Editor Jack Phillips caught up with Revs founder and Bicester Heritage Chaplain Adam Gompertz. Here's what he had to say.
I feel slightly like I've got imposter syndrome, really. I'm just a bloke in a study in Shrewsbury, ringing up and annoying people and going, would you mind getting involved doing this? And, from my old car design days, managed to track down a few people who then kind of led me on to other people, and then got other friends who said, well, I can lead you into this and that. And suddenly here we are. And so Revs has been just one, and it is just one of a number of amazing things that a whole group of people have done in order to try and bring something good out of something that's been really difficult. To come away with an award in any recognition, it would be amazing. And it would be incredible because it's a team thing, and Revs is a team, and for us to be recognised and for people to feel that we've done something good in that time is, just very humbling.
From social media, we move to print for our next category, Club Magazine of the Year, sponsored by Witham Motorsport and Motul. In order to accommodate this year's new awards, we've combined our usual 2 magazine categories into one award, which makes it even more hotly contested than ever. The Sunbeam Tiger Club's magazine, The Cat's Whiskers, has always been very impressive, but there was one thing this year that promoted it to the shortlist for Club Magazine of the Year. After getting readers to submit photographs of their cars, known as caged tigers during lockdown, the result was a 72-page bumper special issue. Next, it's the TR Register, with its ever-brilliant magazine TR Action, which celebrates its 50th anniversary this year. What's more, it's had a facelift to complement the magazine's varied and vibrant content. Our final candidate is the quarterly Built to Last, the magazine of the relatively small Land Rover Series 2 Club, yet it features diverse editorial content with newsstand quality design and photography. And now over to Al for the winner.
Our judges were reluctant to give this award to a former Classic and Sports Car staff member, but they were so impressed by our winner that they felt they had no choice. Congratulations to Martin Port, editor of Built to Last, the magazine of the Land Rover Series 2 Club. Now, shows, runs and rallies are a major part of most club magazine content, but this year they've been rather few and far between. Happily, however, between the lockdowns, there were enough events to give us a shortlist for our best live club event category.
Thanks, Alistair. Now, anniversaries feature strongly in this category, and we're starting with the youngest, the 45th anniversary of the XJS. To celebrate, the XJS Club gathered an impressive 150 examples of the Coventry Coupe at the British Motor Museum in August. Just a month later, that number was doubled by the MG Car Club, with its hotly anticipated MG Car Club Social at the same venue, part of the club's 90th anniversary celebrations. And finally, it's the Alvis Owner Club Pop-Up Centenary at Bicester Heritage. This was a rare ray of sunshine in a difficult year which should have been filled with events to celebrate the red triangle mark's 100 years.
Although it only mustered a relatively small number of cars, our winner produced a fantastic display and cavalcade celebrating the entire history of Alvis. Well done to the Alvis Owner Club and its pop-up centenary. Now, with so many events moving online, we felt it was time for another new category, and that's for the best virtual club event. Lizzie, who made our final three in this one?
Our shortlist recognises the incredible online events that clubs have been able to put on. And our first contender is the UK's S2000 Owners Club's Top-Down Lockdown Megameet, a weekend packed with quizzes, technical demonstrations and even a virtual dinner. Next, it's the Gay Classic Car Group's Fix It Weekends, initiated following the cancellation of the NEC Restoration Show. The idea of these weekends was to encourage members to get out there and sort their classics and share their efforts across social media. And finally, we have the Alfa Romeo Owners Club UK's ambitious Virtual Racing Championships, a mammoth undertaking that has featured more than 500 cars, 40 circuits, 800 events and 200 participants, and is watched by more than 2,000 viewers.
Our winner perfectly demonstrates the diversity and inclusivity of virtual club events, providing fantastic support for both its members and their cars. It's the Gay Classic Car Group's Fix It Weekend. Now, the next category looks at best contribution to charity, and here it goes right to the heart of the Classic Car Club scene. Just about every entry in this year's awards could have been considered, but in the end we had to narrow it down to this short list of three.
Our first shortlisted club is the TR Register, which mobilised its substantial readership for the summer-long Triumph Over COVID-19 campaign, and which has raised more than £6,000 for NHS charities. The Drivers' Union is a not-for-profit club for supercar owners which makes use of the public's passion for these fantastic cars to raise money for local and national organisations through charity rides. And our third finalist is the Alvis Owner Club once again. Having had so many events cancelled during 2020, the club repurposed the funds raised for those events and split them into two grants of £2,500 each for the Coventry Food Bank and the Motor and Allied Trades Benevolent Fund, or BEN.
And the winner is the TR Register's brilliant Triumph Over COVID-19 campaign. Now, sticking with the theme of the pandemic, it really is something that has touched all of our lives this year. But in exceptional times come exceptional people, and they're the subject of our next award, which is for the club Lockdown Hero. Lizzie, who made our shortlist?
Our first contender comes not from a traditional car club, but from a charitable trust, and is shared between Tracy Nabbs and Maggie Haynes of the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust for their unstinting efforts to continue production of heritage certificates during lockdown. Meanwhile, Chris Wickers of the Volvo Owners Club might sadly have been made redundant during lockdown, but he made the most of this unexpected free time by improving the experience for club members, whilst also finding time to volunteer for 2 local charities. Third on our shortlist is Mark Wells, a true stalwart of the gay classic car group, whose ideas, enthusiasm and caring attitude have helped members through this challenging time.
For his truly selfless approach and dedication to his club, our winner is Chris Wickers, editor of the Volvo Owners Club's magazine, The Driver. Chris, we salute you. And from club stalwarts, we move on to relative newcomers with our club's Star of the Future award, which is sponsored by Longstone Tyres, a true supporter of the next generation of classic enthusiasts. Over to Lizzie to count down our young heroes.
Absolutely. And we're back with the Volvo Owners Club for our first nomination, Stephen Hay. Stephen is so passionate that he proposed at a national club rally, and the happy couple named their son after the first Volvo, Jacob. Our second nomination is for Steph Holloway, who has single-handedly built an enthusiastic community around her YouTube channel, iDriver Classic. One thing we loved about her nomination is that she refreshingly challenges the stereotypes around who should drive and enjoy classics. Finally, we have Connor Ellis, founder of Driven Escape. Connor has taken his passion for cars and channeled it into creating a community for owners and enthusiasts to help support them through their mental health challenges.
All very worthy candidates, but we couldn't ignore Connor Ellis and his fantastic efforts to increase awareness and provide support, as well as raising more than £1,200 for Mental Health Research UK. Our Jack caught up with Connor to discuss the motivation behind this new movement.
Quite a few years back, I sort of had a rough few years basically, and always used my cars and like car passion to take a step back from all that and sort of come back to reality and everything. And the car in question was a classic Mini, which I built with my dad. So obviously that had quite a sentimental thing as well. And I kind of just realised that I couldn't be the only one out there that uses my cars to get away from everyday sort of life, use it as a help.
From a newcomer, we move on to our equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's the Club Personality of the Year. The first of our 3 strong candidates is Andrew Dunnell of the Honda S800 Sports Car Club. Andrew enjoyed these cars when they were new and returned to them 20 years later, joined the club, became a member of the committee and has been invaluable ever since. Second, we have Chris Gumby, chairman of the Triumph Sports 6 Club. He's been juggling many different tasks this year, from protecting the club's staff to revamping its headquarters, and he has also loaned 2 of the cars from his collection to the Classic Car Loan Project. Last but not least, we have Martin Williams, a long-standing and dedicated member of the Singer Owners Car Club, who is also a very talented artist. For decades, Martin has been supplying the club with his drawings, and he's created some special works for the club's 70th anniversary in 2021.
Our winner is a true club stalwart, treasurer for 28 years, a former chairman, and the driving force behind the club's annual displays at the NEC. It's Andrew Dunnell of the Honda S800 Sports Car Club. Which leaves us with just one more award to decide, and this one is always the most challenging. It's for our Club of the Year. Lizzie, who's made the shortlist this year?
As you say, Al, this is the hardest category to judge because we think every car club is a deserving winner. But in the end, we managed to narrow it down to 3. First, we have the Drivers' Union, whose members are clearly passionate about being part of this exclusive yet growing community that's free to join, founded by Saeed Ali. Secondly, we have the Alfa Romeo Owners Club UK, which has certainly been busy during 2020. The club has launched podcasts, a virtual racing championship, an online gallery and archive, plus an interactive map of services to help members track down goods specialists. Last, we have the MG Car Club, which celebrates its 90th anniversary in 2020, but is still growing and attracting new members, and during the pandemic found new ways to reach out to its club community.
A great shortlist, but in the end our judges were unanimous. Despite having made great strides in 2020, our winner is already surveying its audience to find out how it can improve in 2021. Congratulations to the Alfa Romeo Owners Club UK. and our Jack has been talking to the club to find out what makes it such a great community to be part of.
The podcast was a completely new idea. We've recorded 19 of those now, and they've not just been members of the board talking at each other. We've had some great guests along too. So, like we had Mike Brewer, and from his, I'm sure everybody knows, and Mike did a really good interview with us and talked about his kind of affection for Alfa Romeos. But we also managed to get hold of Damien Daly, who's the new, the just announced this summer head of Alfa Romeo UK, and he's actually a club member and has a Spider 916. It was great to be able to chat to him and about how the club means so much to the manufacturer, and he's delighted that they've got Alfisti out there, the fanatics that can help drive this the brand along too. Obviously, we normally have some terrific events, and we were very disappointed not to be able to run many of those at all. We were able to hold our planned Southern Alpha Day at Stoner Park, and there were a good, getting on 500 cars there, which was super. And that would normally be a slightly smaller regional event, so that was a bit of a highlight that some people were able to get together in between lockdowns. That was super. I think other than that, there's been a blend of things. There's a lot of these new initiatives have gone even better than we expected them to.
Thanks, Jack, and well done to the Alfa Romeo Owners Club UK. And with that, we come to the end of our club awards for 2020. We dearly hope that next year we'll be able to all meet up and hand out the trophies in person. But until then, do stay safe. A massive congratulations to all of our winners, and a heartfelt thank you from everyone here at Classic and Sports Car to you, the club members, the very beating heart of our hobby.